I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't argue. I opened our calendar, found the date circled in red, our anniversary, and erased it. Then I booked a room across town and canceled everything, without saying a word to my wife. Not because I stopped loving her, but because after months of being rejected, I finally understood something that made my stomach drop. She wasn't too tired. She wasn't too stressed. She was hiding something, and I was about to find out what. Before we get into it, hit like and subscribe to Betrayal Uncovered. If you're into calm, suspenseful betrayal stories with twists that feel painfully real, you'll want to stay with us. My name is Nina. I'm 32, a project manager, the type who believes communication can fix almost anything. My wife Leela is 34, magnetic, charming, the kind of person who makes strangers smile. When we first got together, she loved me loudly. Random kisses in the hallway. I miss you. Texts for no reason. She made me feel chosen. Then it faded quietly. No dramatic fight. No big turning point. Just a slow shift, fewer touches, fewer late-night laughs, fewer moments where she looked at me like I was her favorite thing. Intimacy turned into excuses. At first it was, not tonight. Then it became, not this week. Then it became a wall I couldn't climb. I tried everything without making it a demand. Date nights, weekend plans, her favorite meals, small gifts. I checked in gently. Are you okay? Do you feel stressed? Is there anything I can do? I even told myself maybe this was normal married life. Maybe love sometimes becomes routine, and you have to work through it. But the hardest part wasn't the lack of sex. It was the way she rejected me. Like my wanting her was inconvenient. Like my touch was something she had to tolerate instead of something she used to crave. One night, I reached for her waist under the blanket. My hand barely touched her and she flinched like I'd burned her. She sat up and snapped, "Can you not?" Then she turned away as if I'd embarrassed her. I whispered, "Lila, I'm your wife." And she said flatly, "I know. That's why I'm asking you to stop." After that, I stopped trying for a while. I gave her space. I told myself she might be depressed or anxious. I read articles about libido changes and how not to pressure your partner. I tried to be patient. But loneliness doesn't shrink just because you explain it away. It grows. It starts living in the corners of your house. It shows up when you're brushing your teeth beside someone who doesn't meet your eyes. It shows up when you reach for their hand in public and they don't notice. Then the little things started changing in a way that didn't match her. Stress. Story. She guarded her phone. If I walked into the room, it flipped face down instantly. She took it into the bathroom every time. She changed her passcode. She started dressing up more, but not for me, more for work. New perfume. A lipstick shade I'd never seen, and she started having late meetings, twice a week. I didn't want to become a suspicious spouse. I hated the idea of snooping. I wanted trust to be enough. But my trust was starving, and one evening, without meaning to, I heard something that made my chest go tight. I was walking down the hall with laundry when I heard Leela on the phone in the living room. She laughed softly and said, "No, she doesn't suspect anything. She thinks it's stress." I stopped mid-step. My heart hammered. Then she said lower, but still clear, "I'll see you soon. I promise." I didn't burst in. I didn't confront her. I moved like I hadn't heard anything and went into our bedroom. I sat on the edge of the bed and stared at the wall, trying to convince myself it could mean something else. But my body didn't believe my excuses anymore. Our anniversary was coming up, 7 years. I had already planned it. A reservation at the restaurant from our first date. A custom photo book of our best moments. A long weekend off work. Because I wanted to pull us back to each other. That night, while she slept, I opened our calendar and stared at that weekend. I imagined sitting across from her while she smiled politely, touched my hand like it was an obligation, and went back to rejecting me later with another excuse. And I made a decision so calm it scared me. I canceled our anniversary. Quietly, no announcement, no fight, no warning. I wanted to see what happened when I stopped chasing. When I stopped making it easy for her to pretend everything was fine. Over the next week, I watched her, carefully, quietly. Her bag stayed suspiciously clean. Her late meetings didn't match her office schedule. She came home some nights with a soft glow that didn't look like exhaustion. And the strangest part was how normal she acted with me. Like I was a piece of furniture she loved having around. She never mentioned our anniversary. Not once. 2 days before it, I tested the waters. I said gently, "Hey, I miss you." She didn't even look up from her phone. "I'm right here. I mean, I miss us." That annoyed sigh came out again. "Nina, can we not do this tonight?" My throat tightened. "Do what?" "Talk about our marriage." "I'm tired," she said. Like that explained everything. "I don't want a heavy conversation." I nodded, because if I pushed, she'd accuse me of pressuring her. And I was done being painted as the problem for wanting my own wife. The night before our anniversary, she came home late again. Slipped into bed like she expected me to be asleep. She whispered, "Hey." I said, "Hey." She hesitated. "You okay?" The question almost made me laugh. Months of rejection, and now she asked if I was okay, like she'd just noticed something was off. I said quietly, "I'm fine." She didn't touch me. She turned over, and I stared into the dark, already knowing what I would do the next day. On the morning of our anniversary, I waited until she left for work. Then I moved quickly. I packed a small bag, grabbed my laptop, and booked a hotel downtown under my name only. I left my wedding ring on the dresser, not for drama, but because my finger felt tired. On the kitchen counter, I left one note. "Gun for the day, don't wait up, no explanation. No heart, no, I love you." At the hotel, the silence felt unreal, like I had stepped out of my marriage and into a space where I could finally breathe. I walked around the city alone. A bookstore, a coffee shop, a park, couples laughing, friends taking pictures. Life continuing like betrayal wasn't happening in my chest. Around noon, my phone buzzed. "Where are you?" I didn't answer. Then, "Is this about tomorrow? Did I forget something?" Still nothing. Then, "Nina, answer me. Please." That "please" felt almost insulting. I'd been saying please for months, just in different ways. Then came the message that made my blood run cold. "Are you with someone?" I stared at it, stunned by the projection. The way her mind leapt straight to cheating, like betrayal was already living in her mouth. I replied with 3 words. "Don't worry, Leela." After that, the text got sharper. "This isn't funny. Come home." Funny. My pain was funny to her. By evening, the tone changed. "I'm sorry. Can we talk tonight? I'll be home." I went back to the hotel and waited. My heartbeat stayed calm, but it wasn't peaceful. It was focused. She called around 8. I answered. Her voice was tight. "Where are you?" "Safe," I said. "Why did you do this?" I paused. "Do you really not know?" Silence. Then she said, "You're punishing me." That word landed heavy. Not "I'm worried," not "I miss you." Punishing. "No," I said softly. "I'm stopping." "Stopping what?" "Stopping myself from chasing you," I said. "Stopping myself from pretending it's normal to feel unwanted in my own marriage." She inhaled shakily. "I told you I've been stressed." "I heard you," I said. "I heard you on the phone." "She doesn't suspect anything." "Who were you talking about?" Another silence, long enough to feel like a confession. "Lila," I said, voice steady. "Who is it?" She started crying, quiet and controlled. It's not what you think." "That's what people say when it is exactly what I think." She whispered, "I didn't mean for it to happen." My stomach dropped. "So it did happen." "I was lonely," she said. "You were always working. Always managing everything. I didn't know how to reach you." The anger came slow, like a tide. "I tried to reach you every day. You rejected me for months." "I know," she sobbed. "I hate myself." "Who is it?" I asked again. "It's someone from my office," she admitted. "Her name is Kara." The name sat in my chest like a rock. "How long?" I asked. "Since February," she whispered. February, the month I planned a weekend getaway she barely looked at. The month she flinched under my touch. The month my bed became a place I dreaded. So when you rejected me, I said carefully, you weren't tired. You were choosing someone else. It wasn't like that, she cried. But it was. I asked, do you love her? I don't know, she whispered. That answer hurt worse than yes. Because it meant she had made room for someone else, without even knowing if she wanted to keep it. Does she know you're married? I asked. Leela hesitated. Too long. She knows, she said finally. But I told her it was complicated. Complicated. Another soft word for betrayal. I closed my eyes. Our anniversary is tomorrow. I know, she said quickly. I was going to. I cut in. Just don't. She begged. Said she'd end it. Said she'd do therapy. Said she'd do anything. I listened, but something inside me stayed quiet, like it had already stepped back. I told her, I canceled our anniversary. What? She breathed. I canceled it, I said, because I couldn't pretend. I couldn't perform romance while you were lying to my face. She whispered, are you leaving me? I don't know yet, I said. But I know I can't go back to the way it was. The next morning, our anniversary, I went home to get the truth in person. Leela looked like she hadn't slept. She sat on the couch with her hands twisted together, like she was holding herself in place. I didn't touch her. I said, tell me everything. And she did, piece by piece. Kara flirted. Leela liked the attention, and she let it grow. A kiss. Then meetings after work. Then a hotel. Then more than once. When she said, hotel, my mind went blank, like it refused to paint the picture. I asked how many times. She said, more than once. I nodded slowly. And you came home and rejected me, she cried. I felt guilty. I didn't know how to be with you after. So you punished me instead, I said quietly. Then I asked the question that mattered most. Why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't want to lose you, she whispered. You already did, I said. You just didn't want to face it. I left the house again that day because I couldn't breathe inside it. Later, Leela texted a long apology, promising she'd block Kara and start therapy. She sounded sincere. But sincerity doesn't erase months of cruelty. A week later, we met at a cafe, neutral territory. She looked small, fragile. I stayed calm. I asked, when you flinched from me, was it because you didn't want me? Or because you wanted her more? Tears filled her eyes. Both, she admitted. That honesty finally hurt like a clean cut. I leaned back. Okay, her face panicked. Okay. What does that mean? It means I'm done making decisions based on hope, I said. I'm making them based on truth. She whispered, do you want a divorce? I looked out the window for a moment, watching strangers live normal lives. I want a separation, I said. At least. I need to hear my own thoughts again. She started to beg and I held up my hand. No, I'm not doing drama. I'm doing clarity. As I stood to leave, she whispered, Kara said she has screenshots. I froze. Screenshots of what? Leela looked down. Off messages how I talked about you. I was trying to justify it. I said things I didn't mean. My throat tightened. What things? She didn't answer, and the hesitation told me enough. I don't need screenshots, I said quietly. I have enough. That night, alone in my rental, I realized the quietest kind of betrayal is the one where they make you feel like the problem while they're breaking you. The flinch. The disgust. The coldness. It wasn't just distance. It was rewriting the relationship so she could betray it without guilt. A few days later, Leela emailed me the screenshots herself. She wrote, "You deserve the truth from me. Not from Kara." I opened them with steady hands and felt something inside me go still. She's so needy. She doesn't get it. She thinks romance fixes everything. She wouldn't survive without me. She's not even my type anymore. I closed my laptop gently, like it could bite. I didn't cry right away. I just sat there, breathing, letting the reality settle. Not just that she cheated, but that she made me small in someone else's eyes to make herself feel bigger. The next morning, I met Leela one last time to talk about next steps. I told her we would move forward with divorce. Calm, respectful, firm. She cried. She apologized. she promised change, and maybe she meant it. But I finally understood something that took me months: to accept someone can regret hurting you and still not be safe for you. On the night that would have been our anniversary dinner, I took myself out instead. I sat alone at a quiet restaurant, ordered dessert, and let the evening be simple. No pretending, no begging, just peace. And here's what I want to ask you, because I know someone listening has lived a version of this. If you overheard your spouse say, "She doesn't suspect anything," would you confront them immediately, or would you go quiet like I did and watch the truth reveal itself? Tell me in the comments, because I read every single one. If this story made you feel something, share it with someone who needs a reminder. Love isn't supposed to feel like chasing someone who already left. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Betrayal Uncovered for more calm, suspenseful stories that keep you guessing until the truth finally lands.